It's June 2nd. Well, at least I think it's June 2nd. It's Tuesday. I'm having to be extra careful with the focus. The depth of field is so narrow, shooting at 1.4, that this is fuzzy. This is clear. This is clearest. And I'm starting to get fuzzy already. If I move closer, am I fuzzier? Back here, I sharpen up. That's the fancy lens I have. So I was very careful about focusing at this time. There's a painting that I purchased from Mary. The artist's name is Mangan. It's two bears and a lake and a mountain. I think it's a mother and mother and child. I like bears. I think it's at nighttime. That's a moon up there in the sky. One of the things I've been doing the last couple of years is I've been able to slip into the state more easily. Why? How do I do that? I want to say it's because I've been practicing a lot, practicing for many years. And my life situation is has very little challenge. So I'm not taken down that road very often. I broke up, or my relationship ended with my long-term girlfriend of 10 years. That presented some challenges. We could talk about that later, but I wanted to talk about what it's like to live the life that I'm living now. Now, I've said it before, when I turn the camera on, I don't have any planned talk. And that's the case now. I have a little irritation, let's call it. As soon as I say that I have an irritation, I realize the thing that's having the irritation is the false self. What looks like a problem to the false self when you're in a non-awake state, when you look at it from an awake state, you see that it's not a problem. It was fabricated. It's part of the story or part of the illusion. Now I almost don't have to tell you what the problem, the so-called problem is, because it's not a problem. My false self makes it a problem. Well, let me run it down for you real quick. In my spiritual group, some people I misunderstood in the one group. I was told 10 years ago that this was going to happen. Some of them feel that way, that the awake state is a sort of like a story or a fiction or something you make a movie about, not something you do. So all that, in my mind, my false self feels like something needs to be done. Like I have to say something or help them or explain more. But I don't have the the energy to do that. And I don't know why I would be doing that. It's not my job. Well, that's it. This is like therapy for me. Okay. Blah, 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 huh? Could you hear that the false self was speaking there somewhat? Speaking like there was a problem? You can tell when somebody else's false self or ego self is active, because they'll be explaining to you some kind of problem or concern. And there is no problem or concern. Can you see that right now about that person at that meeting house that I just described? Can you see there's no problem? That my false self has a memory, and it brings that memory of these things this person said. That person is okay the way they are. I don't need to do anything. Seeing the false self, seeing the ego self is just like that. It comes alive, the ego comes alive when you attach importance to the ego. The ego self, also called the false self, same thing, has no power on its own. The power and authority that it has is given to it by us. You just saw me do that. Talked about this person, how it would cause me some kind of irritation or something. Did you see how I gave importance to that? Right there, live, with the camera turned on? When in fact that's not happening at all, it's fiction. The problem is not happening at all, that's fiction. That was kind of fun. I didn't know that was going to happen, so this turned out better than I thought, more useful than I thought it would. When the thoughts slow, the mind, which is necessary to construct the ego and the problem, that quiets down or is moved to the side, and then there's space. It's funny, it's sitting in the chair, it's like there's two people here.